At some point, black women's lives have to matter as equal in America.
Hello everyone, it's Queen Beeline back to you with another video. This video is an update pertaining to the Atatiana Jefferson case, as numerous outlets have confirmed that a jury has sentenced former officer Aaron Dean to 11 years, 10 months, and 12 days following the manslaughter conviction of daughter, auntie, sibling, community member, medical student, graduate of Xavier University, Atatiana Jefferson. This story has multiple layers of tragedy and heartbreak, not only for the family, but for the community as a whole. Shortly after the unfortunate unaliving of Atatiana Jefferson, weeks and months following after Miss Jefferson's unaliving, her parents, Yolanda Carr and Marquis Jefferson, transitioned after their daughter's sudden unaliving. Prior to this sentencing, there were several delays for this case, which include the current COVID-19 pandemic, multiple motions filed by the defense, and a new judge was brought on to this case. On October 12, 2019, Atatiana Jefferson was playing video games with her nephew. At the time prior to her unaliving, Atatiana had opened the door in her house because they were airing out the smoke out of their house. A concerned neighbor saw that the door was opened after a certain period of time and called the non-emergency line for officers to do a check-in. Again, the neighbor called the non-emergency number for officers to do a check-in. As soon as former Officer Dean and his partner arrived at Atatiana Jefferson's residence, there was no form of alert that authorities were at their house, and it only took 1 minute and 17 seconds for the body camera to be turned on, and Atatiana Jefferson's life was unfortunately taken. This case has brought out so many emotions. I cannot begin to understand the pain that her nephew is feeling to know that his aunt was unfortunately taken. Shortly after Atatiana was losing her life, former Officer Dean did not aid Atatiana as she was losing her life. By the time paramedics reached at Atatiana's residence, she had lost so much oxygen that there was no way that they could have revived her. Now you will watch this brief news clip with victim impact statements by Atatiana Jefferson's family, and I will be back with more commentary.
Atatiana Jefferson, October 12th.
Atatiana Jefferson was a bright, vibrant light, that Atatiana was that light that refuses to die.
Inside the courtroom, Dean's face showed little emotion. His family looked down. Jefferson's family began sobbing before reading victim statements.
But I want you to go to your cell knowing that her light is only transferred.
Jefferson's cousin spoke before her sister Ashley.
My sister Atatiana was amazing, is amazing. My heart breaks daily knowing that my family and the world lost a beautiful ray of sunshine.
Her other sister Amber is in the hospital. Her brother Adarius had to return to work in the Navy.
As her big sister, I live every day with the pain that I could not do my job and protect her.
The link splits the middle between the 2-year minimum and 12-year max and means Dean can't get bond during any appeal.
I'm still processing it, but the max is what I was looking for, but we're satisfied with the verdict.
Outside the courtroom, Jefferson's neighbor James Smith, who called police that night, said it should be a catalyst for change in policing.
We were very anxious. It's, sitting out here with all these folks every day, it's stressful.
He's your prisoner, Sheriff.
Others are thankful for some form of justice and hope it'll begin healing.
Your service as a police officer is a permanent stain on the city of Fort Worth.
Ashley Carr also said that she pitied Dean, not because of the sentence, but because of what she called ignorance.
While this sentencing and conviction does not bring back Atatiana Jefferson, at least the family will know that former officer Aaron Dean will do some time for this horrific tragedy. I need persons to understand how this domino effect of losing a loved one to violence can really affect not only a family, but the community and the nation as a whole. When officers are trained, they are trained to protecting and serving the community. It took former officer Aaron Dean 1 minute and 17 seconds to taking a life without due process, without asking questions, without alerting Atatiana and her nephew and possibly other persons within the home that officers were on the property. After taking Atatiana Jefferson's life, former officer Aaron Dean did not even try to aid Miss Jefferson as her life was leaving her body. What form of training was former officer Dean and his partner given during and prior to this tragic event? There needs to be a broader conversation of training officers prior to arriving to a scene. The words of Malcolm X ring true today as it did when he was alive. Now you will watch this brief clip and I will be back with more commentary.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
Protect black women should not only be a slogan, but it should be a way of life. It is unfortunate that black women have to face the likely occurrence of being harmed by strangers, partners, even their children. But to add the weight of being harmed, black women must be mindful that persons of authority may abuse their power and ultimately may take their lives. Say their names, known and unknown. Say her name, Atatiana Jefferson. Justice for Atatiana Jefferson. Please be safe out here, and I will see you in the next video.